Today, I, Lila of Nevillution, will be giving commentary on Neville Goddard's 1967 lecture, The Cup of Experience. In this lecture, Neville shares the story of an unemployed friend without money and many burdens. My memory tells me how poor he is, that he is unemployed, without funds and burdened. I will keep him in that state forever, unless I know how to use my imagination. No one can ever know imagination who has not tasted the cup of experience. Entering this world, we love our mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, children, and friends, but we don't know how to change them from what they are into what they ought to be unless we drink from the cup of experience and practice the great secret of imagining. This is why I say, love divided from imagination is eternal death. So what Neville is saying here, to truly love one, it goes hand in hand with the power of imagining. For when a loved one is suffering, if you feel sorry for them, you keep them in that state. But if you want to lift it out for them, you have to be able to tune into imagination and lift them in your imagination that they are what they ought to be. And to come back to Neville's words, imagination is God's great gift. He is love. He has infinite power and wisdom, but his creative power is imagination, giving you his creative power. And because of this gift, when you see one that you love dearly as unemployed, without funds and in great need, embarrassed and clothed, you can represent him to yourself as gainfully employed, beautifully clothed, happy, and debt-free. Then as you persist in exercising your imagination concerning your friend, the world will remold itself and shape him in the likeness of one who is gainfully employed, debt-free and happy. And Neville warns to be careful of self-justification or condemnation. For if you justify the world, claiming he slapped me first or she pushed me, you're speaking with the voice of hell, the voice of self-justification, because everything is taking place in you. Thus in heaven, all is forgiveness of sin. For Neville taught that sin is nothing but missing your mark, missing your aims in life, not being who you want to be, doing what you want to be doing, but of course always doing the loving thing, not intentionally hurting another to get ahead. So Neville is telling you to really take responsibility for everything you see on the outside, for everything you experience, because if you don't, you're going to keep giving your power to an outside source, and then it will seem like hell, because you won't believe you can use your power to make a heaven out of hell. So in regards to people, whether it is your family or friends or others, what if for a moment you entertained what Neville was saying, that they are all you pushed out? They are all something symbolic in your consciousness, from your beliefs, your feelings, what you allow yourself to become impressed with. And if we come to find that so, it shall be easy to forgive all on the outside. Neville goes on to say, like the seed, you have to be detached from the Father and fall into the ground to be made alive. For unless a seed falls into the ground, it remains alone. But if it falls into the ground and dies, it brings much forth. The creative power of your human imagination is the seed that falls into your fleshly body, the red earth called Adam. Hearing the word and applying its truth, your seed is made alive and begins to awaken, and you realize who you really are. You are infinite love, but without the power of imagination, love itself is eternal death. Start now to change your world, to conform to your acts of love, but you cannot do it without imagination. So as Neville is teaching this moment, ask yourself, who am I? Where am I? And if you don't like the answers, what do you want instead? What do you want to be instead? Where do you want to be? And take a moment and assume, what would it feel like to be who you want to be and to be where you want to be? And catch this feeling and persist in this by asking yourself this each day, feeling that new feeling until it gels and outpictures. Most people give up before they really give it a chance. Or some people may not get it right away. Or some people may feel desperate and try too hard and then feel they get the opposite. And when the opposite comes, they may start reacting to that, thus perpetuating it even more. But nevertheless, start now and take God's gift of his creative power and create. So now you know enough from all Neville's teachings. No more argue with the world, but instantly change it in imagination and continue to nurture this until it becomes reality. And one day, you will come to awaken as Neville and other great mystics have. And there will be no doubt. You will know through your own experience all that they have been teaching. And along with that, clear on the power of your imagination and all that it has created and will continue to as long as you are in the dream of life. Now, let us go into the silence. Good.